While we're on our way back from the tournament, Ollie's team went 2-1, but did not make it into the finals. That's the way it is. You get shelled a little bit today, but that is baseball. We all know about rough patches, I think, especially in our barn the last 2 weeks. So I want to talk about the 2-year-olds. I had, you guys have it by now, I'm sure. I did a video on, what day is today? Saturday? I did a video on Friday morning. I thought it posted. I thought it was posted. And then somebody said that video is not anywhere to be found. So I had to repost it. It's a video of 2-year-olds, their trajectories, what they're doing, where they're at. Now, all the races for this weekend are over, so I guess this is a little more in depth. I'm going to run through it a little quicker, but let everybody know what's up. ACDC is turned out, and he'll be turned out for the next little while. Same as Aunt Sarah, same as Bianco Spiaggio. Blue Rare, I believe, races, is it this Wednesday? Grand River. I know she races this week and then comes right back 7 days later, I think, in another grassroots. Capistrano Night's about 2.5 weeks away. Captain Doolittle raced his last start for us yesterday. That isn't me being angry at the horse. As I said many, many times before, we can only do so much. We put all the work into them, and ultimately, it certainly wasn't his work ethic or his attitude that was his undoing. Just simply wasn't given enough talent by God when he was born. He nice horse to be around, nice horse to drive. He's just not quite fast enough just yet. He'll do somebody some good though down the road. Cherry's Girl, racing good. I talked in depth about her in the last couple of videos, last 2-year-old videos and update videos. She'll race, I don't know when she'll race. Next week, I think. Yeah, I think next week in Philadelphia, I think is when she races. Wait.
No.
Poconos? Yeah, they already went to Philadelphia. Poconos. I'm not sure. She'll be racing soon. Degas will be racing, I believe, on Sunday in Kentucky of next week. She raced Wednesday. I think she's back in 10 days. All those fillies come back. Very pleased with the way she raced. I'm going to drop her and Jolene down. I say Jolene with kind of a question mark, because I'm not positive of the trajectory of Jolene just yet. I'm sure I'll have a million people message me and tell me what I need to do with Jolene. I'm just trying to sort it out. A lot of paths with her. Regardless, she's a very, very nice filly. Dios de la Danza races this week in Urbana. One of my partners just messaged me and said, where is Urbana? Down southern Ohio is where it's at. I'm supposed to go drive them in Urbana, but I don't know if I'll make it or not. We'll see. I'm not positive what I'm going to do yet myself. Don't Ask Again will race next week again. She'll race in the next Stallion Series, I think. We're just trying to dry her up, clean her up, and prep her for her next race. Dune will race next week in Michigan. I know it's hard sometimes. We don't list the fares. I'm trying to figure out the best way around that. But she has had a decent summer, and she will race next week in Michigan. Oh, that hurt. I don't know why when I yawn it hurts my tailbone. It's weird. Emerald Tom, we talked about him also in the update. This update you'll already have seen if you're watching our videos, but I update everybody on him. Go Strong Hanover raced today, finished 5th. He'll be moving also next week. We're going to move him. Perfection Hanover, who was also dead heated for 3rd today in 54-4, and Captain Doolittle. Those 3 horses will be underway. We're going to be selling them, putting them on the free agency market next week. Head to Know is out in the field and will remain out in the field for a little while yet. Hanger 1 will race on Wednesday. Hanger 1 and Steady Bolo race. So eager to go back down to Kentucky and drive them. Hanger 1, I just think is such a nice horse, and eager to see where he ends up this year. I really am. He's a Fearless Peter. Will race again next week. We'll get him ready for the Buckeye. He needs to do more. I think he's holding back, right? And I just think he needs a couple, 2, 3 very stiff miles in a row for him to shake him loose, so to speak. And that's what our plan will be with him. Highest Honors also races in Urbana this week. He's got the trailing post in Urbana, which might be a little trickier. I don't know. We'll see. In New York, we castrated him and turned him out in the field. He'll be out for 6-8 weeks, something like that. We'll bring him back in. Jailbird Jog will race next Sunday also. I was pleased with her. A lot of these horses, if you're wondering about the 2-year-olds, go back and watch the video I made on Friday morning. You probably have it. It was just posted Saturday evening or Sunday. I talk in pretty lengthy detail about a number of these horses, and Jailbird Jog is definitely one of them. Jolene Hall, I just told you, the plan is to drop her down a level and race her next Sunday. Right now, that's the plan. Judy's Money was great the other day. Very, very pleased with Judy's Money. Pretty hard not to be happy with Judy's Money. If you're not happy with her, you just don't like horses, because she's just a real sweet filly and doing a great job this summer. Leland Hanover's out for a different reason. It's not lameness, sickness, immaturity. It's just that I don't think he's a stallion or a sire stake horse right now, and I'd like to see him mature into a bigger, stronger form of himself. The best way to do that is simply turn the horse out. So that's what we're doing. Lifting Legend raced good the other day. First lifetime win for him. So congratulations to all my partners with Lifting Legend. Love Sensation out for actually very similar reasons to Leland Hanover. Kind of. I did want to let her mature and grow up. She was a little immature, but also I think she's going to be a decent filly as she grows up. And with her, I just didn't think she was a stake horse right now. And she's always going to. All these horses are always going to be overnight horses, right? We're trying to figure out the best way for them to become the best forms of themselves, and some of them simply need a little time. Megan's Lucky Day is Indigo on Wednesday. I'm going to come back from Lexington and drive the latter part of the card in Northfield Park. I can't make it back for Gaslight Hall. Tyler's done a great job with their horses this week. Yeah, a little snafu with Spitfire, but for the most part has done a great job all week long with the horses. Millie Girl being one of them. Finished third tonight, 57 at Northfield Park. I thought she raced pretty good. She raced pretty good, eh?
Really?
Yeah. Ended up first over and outside third. Cleared into the 3-hole and tried to run down the leaders. I thought she raced well. I see. So yeah, I thought Millie Girl raced rather well. There, thank you very much, honey. My name's Swaney. We'll be going to Philadelphia next week. Her and Sweet Lake. Mark said he would drive both of those horses in Philadelphia for us. I just, it's hard not to like Wayne, right? I saw Tony last night, Todd Luther's wife, right? Yeah. Oh, what a nice girl she is. She was so excited for Wayne this summer, and man, it's pretty hard not to be. She's just been a real. Every year we're lucky enough just to have 1 or 2 or 3 horses that would fall under that breath of fresh air type.
I'm assuming you're happy with how she's.
Oh yeah, very happy. How couldn't you be happy? She's been racing great and very, very pleased with her. Second in 52 and 3 her last time. I mean, she's just, to think that she surpassed all those other fillies that were trained now. I guess she hasn't gone by perfection or perfect thought yet, but for the most part, surpassed those other fillies is impressive. Those aren't bad horses, and she has been doing a tremendous job. Neuromancer's out in the field for the same old reason as the other horses. He's a little different. Everybody else was kind of raced, and we decided to turn them out. This guy just trained fast enough to race, and then we turned him out. I need him to grow up mentally and physically, and he'll end up getting 1 long turnout. What the hell is that?
Did you turn the parking brake on when you were driving? Watch.
No. You can't turn the parking brake on when you're driving. It's weird.
That's what it said you did. The screen popped up.
Oh, where's the button?
Right there. On
How would I hit it? Well, that was weird.
that. It says that it put it into off-road mode for some reason.
Oh, I switched gears, did I? No. I didn't mean to do that. It kind of scared me
Why
there.
did it jam the brakes on?
Well, there was traffic up ahead. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Kind of scared the hell out of me, though. Perfection Hanover. It has been racing good, and I'm sure I'm going to catch a little flack over this particular horse. heading out. But guys, a lot of the time, so here's the thing. If he's not a Sire Stake horse, he's not a Stallion Series, that's fine. But if he's not an overnight horse now, he's not going to win a maiden right now. Is he going to when he comes back? Now, he paced faster last week than Leland did, but everything just feels so forced. With Leland, he just felt like he just wasn't there yet. Perfection Hanover feels like he's there. As far as he's concerned, he's there. And that might be as far as he's going to go. I don't know for sure. I'm not positive. But I don't get the feeling that, his lines are good right now. And I think they're going to stay the same. Where does that put us? I just don't think he's one of those horses where if you turn him out for 8 weeks or 10 weeks or 12 weeks and bring him back in, he's going to be a better horse. I could be wrong. And we're not going to give him away. I mean, he's been a decent horse all season long. I just would like to see a little bit more, right? A little bit more. And I think it's just when you sit behind him, it's different. It's hard to explain, I guess. Anyway, Perfect Thought is a little bit easier to explain. Very fast filly, lots of talent. Yes, she was a little flat the other night. We had concerns, when Megan sends me a picture of the mucus in her nose and says, I don't like seeing this on race day. And I said, well, have you scoped her and drawn her blood? She goes, yeah, we did both, and she's perfectly clean. Well, it's coming from somewhere, and obviously wherever it was coming from played a role in her race, a negative role. It would have to. Now, I'm not trying to allude to the fact that she was going to beat that filly. That filly looks very special. 50-1, looks very, very good, and looked like she did it pretty easily. So an impressive looking mile from her, but I think the Perfect Thought still has a little bit more to offer from our side also. So I feel as I push away from Perfection Hanover that I should do a better job explaining it. The only way I can possibly put it is all summer long I'm constantly evaluating and reevaluating the horses in my head. If something catches my eye, good, bad, or otherwise, I'll write it down, I'll make a note of it, and I'll revisit it. And I've done that 2 or 3 times with Perfection Hanover. I think he's a nice horse. I just don't think he's going to be a stable horse full time. I know that's a pretty vague statement, but that's how I feel. When it comes to this part of the summer, there are 3 horses right now that I don't think are going to be stable horses, and they are Go Strong Hanover, Captain Doolittle, and Perfection Hanover. It's the easiest way I can do it. If you need a more specific thing, or you have specific questions you want to ask me about any of the topics I talked about in any of these videos, please feel free to. It's easy to get a hold of me. Moving on, Pretty Eyes and Lies. Now, there's nothing. I don't mind this filly. I don't think we've seen her best foot forward. Do I think she's a stake filly? No, not yet. Maybe not ever. But I think she's a useful filly, and she got off to a pretty rough start, right? Made that break on me, made a break on Sean Johnson last week. I think at some point, before I would pull the plug and say we're getting rid of her, I would more than likely wait to turn her out a little bit, grow up, fill out, and come back in. And so there has to be a question asked to me, well, what is different between her and a horse like Perfection, or Captain Doolittle, or Go Strong Hanover? It just comes down to the unknown. Right? I feel that I've got to know those other 3 horses pretty well. I got to look kind of inside them, under the hood, as I like to say. And I haven't yet had that chance with Pretty Eyes and Lies. Maybe she's not as good as I think. Maybe she's just a very ordinary animal. Well, she'll always be worth what we get for her right now, or she will for a very long time. So I just don't feel that there's a need just yet for to move Pretty Eyes and Lies. Why is this thing doing this? No. You know what? This is what I hate. Look at all these passwords.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. Like I just want the one that lets me into the site, leaves it open, and go away. That's the only one I want. So, Pretty Eyes and Lies. Next we get Rico Tubbs, a winner today. I'm a little embarrassed. I went on my opening video. We talked about who we had Saturday. Oh, we have a light day Saturday. I'm like, geez, I wasn't thinking straight. I'm like, where the hell is... After I'm like, where's Looks Like Money? Where's all these other horses at? And, yeah, they're not on the calendar for Saturday. Funny, you always usually have people that maybe say, hey, there's something wrong with the calendar. Nobody said a word. Rico Tubbs was a winner. looks like Bunny raced good. He finished third. Go Strong Hanover really wasn't that bad and finished fifth. But Rico Tubbs, that's 2 Stallion Series now. I think that's more than enough to get him into the final. You always liked that horse, though, Amy, didn't you? I thought that Steve owned a piece of that horse, and I saw him today, and he's like, "No, Amy and I were the ones laughing at you for buying the horse."
Yeah, it's the true story.
I said, I just thought the horse. And I want everybody to understand, and Steve already knows this, and Amy also. When you're looking at horses, you can make notes and say, "Oh, this horse is short barrels," right? What that means is the horse just seems shorter than other, not as long as other horses. And you're like, "Oh, well, that horse will interfere."
Honestly, after this year, from looking at the confirmation of horses that we had, none of them followed any sort of rules.
Because there isn't rules. People think there's rules, but there's not.
Like Pretty Eyes and Lies stands off.
Doesn't
Probably
touch.
the worst standing off horse in the barn.
Yep, and doesn't touch anywhere.
Hit anywhere.
Because our uncle never hit anywhere.
And then a horse like
a horse like Judy's Money never touched herself at all, training down, only wore bandages, then we put boots on her, but it wasn't a big deal. 1 week before she qualified, she reached up and blew her knee open, split her knee open, hit it, cut it open, it blew up. It cost her 2 or 3 weeks. Now we got our shot where she's not hitting it that bad. She'll pick at it once in a while, but not that bad. But it's the same as last year. Rosa Alexander never touched herself, and then mauled herself all summer.
But even Jailbird Jock, she's a little pigeon-toed.
Yeah, well, pigeon-toed's less likely to do that stuff. My only concern with pigeon-toed, this is a good conversation. My only concern with pigeon-toed is it puts pressure on their knees.
And she already had those 2 massive splints.
And she had 2 massive splints.
And she never
got lame, but we were always very careful with her.
In March, I remember we were cautious with her one knee, and then she's been fine.
Yeah. And now she's in Kentucky, and she wore flip-flops the other day. Well, because I didn't want to change them. She was getting pacey. Actually, as I say that, no, I think we took them off one horse. We didn't take them off her. We definitely took them off of Degas. Yeah. But, I mean, you have to understand, not every horse hits the same way. Not every horse. You can't look at a horse and say, "Oh, that horse is going to do this." Right. Sure, you have a horse like this. There's a good Captain Doolittle. We have some concerns that he might get to his knee. But even he does his work.
And that's really what it comes down to. And that's something that you can't go to the sale and look at and be like, "Oh, this horse is going to do his work."
Listen,
because it doesn't seem to matter what direction their legs are standing.
Well, it doesn't. It comes down to...
obviously, if one's off and one's not, that's usually
the one thing that I'm proud of this year, we've never had any significant lameness. Not one horse broke a bone training down. Not one. Out of all the 46 we had, not one broke. We had horses with sore knees. We'd stop with, back off with, start back up. We've had horses with issues. Not one broken bone. And that's, to me, that just goes down to exactly what I was talking about. We had lots of horses in March and April that we had to slow back off with. We had to take our time with. We had to cryo splints, or we had stuff we had to do, but never had any significant injuries in that regard. And that's, well, I have to believe that's lucky, but at the same time, it speaks a lot to the way we train the horses down. And when it comes to the horses, I told everybody, we'll probably have a bucket of flyers, a bucket of Rico Tubbs. Well, you don't like buckets? No, we like the buckets. What else are you going to call them? Bins? Bags? I like the buckets.
We didn't do bucket flyers.
Watch out.
Yeah, we did.
On shoulder ahead.
Yeah, we did. I think maybe a bucket of flyers for everybody. I like the buckets. You come up with a better name, we'll call them that.
I will immediately.
Well, then you can, but you haven't yet. Until then, I'm going to call them buckets of flyers, like Rico Tubbs, like other horses. For every, there's nothing we can do. Captain Doolittle, I was so focused on getting him away from his knee that it never dawned on me that he just wasn't going to be able to go fast enough to be a good horse, or a decent horse, a useful horse, and that's just the way it played out. Whereas Judy's Money, I was always worried there was a ceiling for Judy's Money. I was always worried there was a ceiling for a lot of horses. Uncle Danny, we bought him for $25,000, I think. Who else? Supermine was what, 17, 16?
Yeah, he was.
So I think there is a place, and it's of course you can buy horses like that everywhere, but it just seems like even more predominantly still, I should say, not even more, but still in Ohio you can. So that's another story for another day. So you got me off track here. Rico Tubbs, 2 wins in the Stallion Series, and his looked very good. Riding the rodeo, we just scratched tonight. Dominic saw a lot of mucus in her nose, but when he scoped her, there was most definitely more mucus there. So could not race her tonight. She's got a stake race coming up in 8 days. So it made very little sense to race her tonight. Scratched out of the box, and it'll probably take a few days to get her over that. If we had raced her today, it would have been a chore to try and get her right for 8 days from now. So a great catch and a great job by Dominic and his crew. Rosa and Bobby will be out in the field. In my mind, I guess as we talk now, there's not much point in bringing any of them in before October 1st. That's when our barn is going to be jam-packed. That is when our staff is going to be at full capacity. So it just makes the most sense around that time period, around the Lexington sale is when we're going to bring everybody back in. And there's no real need to have anybody in before then, I don't think, as I say it out loud. Royal Flush Day, same thing. We're looking out by Royal Duchess. Royal Duchess is going to race on August the 9th in Croton.
I don't think you're saying that right.
Yeah, I may not be saying it right, but I think I am. Croton. Her and Gorgeous Package are there. I have to look at the draw, but I don't think I can drive Gorgeous Package. I was excited to go to Berea on Tuesday. I wasn't going to tell you because I know how much you love the fairs. I wasn't telling you I was going to Berea, but I was going to Berea. But I don't.
You asked me to go.
Yeah, that was after I asked you if you'd go, and I knew you would because you're a chicken.
I'm not. You wanted me to show up there and drive. Where's Lauren?
Lauren's away right now. I'm Jason. Anybody can drive. I don't care. And the option is Berea or Scioto Downs with Staff's Hope. Anybody can drive Staff's Hope also, but if you're going to look at the less trickier horse, we had to get her raced. There was no other race. Megan's lucky day was Northfield. What? Yeah, could have, I suppose. You're going to have to start showing up for the qualifiers.
I'm a little busy.
Well, you're going to have to free up some time to get your qualifying digs in. So Royal Duchess' plan is to go to Croton with her on August the 9th. Rosa and Bobby out in the field again October 1st. We'll use that timeline for now. There may be a little earlier, a little later, whatever. Simply Chaotic again, I guess. We'll use the same one for him too. Solidarity. Scotty had nice things to say about Solidarity. Ended up with it's still bugging me whenever I'm on the car there. Left front ankle was bothering him a little bit. We're going to take the head pull off the left. Did his ankle. He will not be on the left line.
Did you slow down?
I don't know what he was looking at. I think maybe he saw the camera thing in the window. He looked in, maybe. So Solidarity, we'll see how he races, but I'm eager to see how he races because Scotty was actually he liked him. Steady Bolo will race on Wednesday. I'll drive him at Lexington. Steph's Hope, as I just said, you find that funny. Does that amuse you? I'm glad that my pain amuses you. Steady Bolo will race in Lexington. Steph's Hope will race Tuesday in Scioto Downs. My original plan, I thought in my head it would work good because I thought they started at 1 in Berea. They started 4. Why? I said Berea, Scioto, Lexington, back to Northfield on Wednesday night. It was going to be perfect. What? What's wrong? Why'd you say that? Well, from Berea to Columbus is 2 hours to Scioto. What's that? Oh, Billy. Sterling Hanover is jogging now. We'll begin training him once he gets the green light from Dr. Grosenbacher and not until. And that could be fairly imminent, I believe. Supermind was great the other day. And as I said to Amy, there's no way he was at 100%. He was at a white count 8 days before the race. There was no way to train him up hard. And you just can't bounce right back to 100%, right? It takes a little bit. So Supermind, I think you're going to see better races ahead from him, even though the other night was a very, very good race. Sweet Lake will be going to Philadelphia also. Her brother was a winner today. Well, why don't you check up the results? Captain Luke was a winner today at the Meadowlands on Himbo Day. I'd say, I'm guessing 47-48, and that is Sweet Lake's brother, which Captain Luke might be a Sweet Luke.
Captain Treacherous.
Oh yeah, Captain Treacherous. That'd be a full sister to Captain Luke. What am I thinking of? You're right. Tomboy Strong was good the other night. She'll be dropping down to the Buckeye level. I like the filly. Did you see her lead the other night? Crossed right over, just like that. She was awesome. She raced very, very good. Uncle Danny was great. He was a winner in 56. I was really happy with Uncle Danny also. So happy. It's easy for me to say. So 2 takeaways from the last 2 weeks. It's easy for me to say, hey, they're just animals. You got to let them work through this. We're treating them. We're trying to get them around it, but it's not easy all the time. But then that has to come to fruition, right? That wheel has to turn. And it was nice to see Supermind and Uncle Danny come back with strong performances after obviously being exactly what we'd reported sick. Woodmere Bullet, got to keep him on stride, and he'll be back in to go, I suspect, the next week or two. Xena Kemp was great the other day, finishing second, closing in and looked very, very good. Now, if Dexter drives her, she'll wear a mini bit her next start. If I drive her, she'll be wearing a snake cord in her next start. But either way, I think you'll see an even better Xena Kemp than you saw the other day. And that is it for our 2-year-olds. I'm going to come right back in a minute. We're going to talk about the 3-year-olds and the racehorses, and then that'll be it for your videos this